It's November. You guys all know what this means as men. It is November. Now, a lot of people think that this is a meme. You're not sure if there's actually any benefits to it, or you're like a lot of people on my channel and you're constantly coping. Now, here's the thing. No Nut November is not going to be a magic pill to magically fix your life and make you $1 million. But here's the thing. It is kind of like turning the key in the car. That's what I want to call No Nut November, retention, whatever you want to call it. It's not the entire engine block. It's not the thing that fuels you, but sometimes it is going to be that thing that actually gets you started. Like so many of you guys, you have all these goals, ambitions, things you want to do, but for some reason you cannot get out of your own head to actually do it. You've been saying, oh, I'm going to start this business. I'm going to start the gym Monday for months, years now, and it has not happened. But perhaps if you try retention, No Nut November, I know it's a little bit late, but who cares about the days, man? Just do it now. Just start it now. But without further ado, I'm going to talk about the benefits of retention and a little bit of my experience. Let's get it. A lot of you guys actually don't know, I started off as a retention YouTuber. My very first video on YouTube was a retention documentary. And then this old channel, I would always talk about retention, the benefits, everything, because this was one of the most powerful self-improvement practices I've actually noticed. But for me, whenever I did it, I was at an all-time low in my life. It was right after a breakup. I was all alone in Ukraine. I was very depressed, dealing with mental health struggles. And I could not for the life of me get inspiration to start my business, to do these things, and it was killing me. But this was the thing that kickstarted me, because I remember every single day, the most exciting, the best part of my day was jerking off. I remember pulling up the videos, doing all that, but then I got to a point, I'm like, what am I doing? I'm literally watching other people get some action on a screen, and I'm just in my apartment, lonely and depressed, beating it to it. When my money's not up, none of these other things in my life are up. Why do I even deserve this hit of dopamine? And then it hit me, man. I'm not going to bust now. I'm not going to ever watch these videos. If I really want to bust, it will be with a real life girl. This was the mindset that I had, and this is the mindset you should have. Like right now, if you're watching the videos, if you're stroking it every single day, you got to get out of this habit and tell yourself, if you want to release, it has to be with a real life person. I would say a girl, but it could be a boy. Who cares, man? We are gender inclusive on the Wayne channel. First question I get is, if you're in a relationship, how do you actually practice retention? Well, I'm just gonna keep this very quick for you. If you actually have discipline, you can learn how to control your nut. Meaning, I've actually gotten to this point. You can get very close to where you're about to, but then you pull it back, and sometimes you can still get the exact same feeling as if you without actually doing it, and retain all of the benefits. Now, there's actually been a little bit of scientific evidence to this, to where it can quadruple your testosterone after doing so. So if you engage in this sort of exercise and then you withhold from finishing the exercise, you will feel freaking good afterwards, man. You need to cut off all temptations if you actually want to stay on NoFap, stay on retention, everything. So a lot of you guys right now, you're following all these OnlyFans thoughties, you're watching all this crap on television, you're playing these video games with these girls with these big fake boobies, and it all triggers you and your PMO brain to just go watch the video just really quickly. And it's ruining you, man. It's ruining your life. So you need to be dedicated to actually cleansing the brain. Because once you get into this state, you don't even look at a woman like a normal person. You cannot have a proper dating life if you're addicted to these videos, addicted to this action. So it is time for us to stop. And it starts with us cutting off any sort of temptation that could lead us down the rabbit hole. A lot of people say, No Nut November doesn't work. NoFap doesn't work, any of these things. Here's the thing. I'm going to teach you a little bit about energies. Energy cannot be destroyed. It can only be transferred. You can only transmute this energy. What a lot of guys do. So they get on NoFap, they get on retention, and they don't do anything with this extra energy. One of your loads is enough to repopulate all of America, and you are busting this every single day for no freaking reason other than personal pleasure. Now, I want you to try something. You get the extra surge of energy. I want you to transmute this energy into something productive. So instead of sitting there watching your same TV, playing the same video games. You're not doing anything with this energy. Oh, you don't feel any different. How about you go exercise, go hit the gym, go hit a PR, go hit 225 on bench press. Go start that new business you've been talking about for ages. Right now, what I want you to do, what I want you to be is a little bit delusional. I want you to think that this is the most magical practice in the world that nobody else is doing. You have an edge on everybody, because here's the thing. Even if it does nothing, even if retention literally does nothing, like you could be busting loads every single day and still be achieving the exact same thing, it's all about the mind. It's about how we wire the mind. So if you think you have an edge on people, if you think you have more discipline because you're doing this one thing, you actually will. You actually going to be achieving more just because of this. And that is the number one reason most people don't actually achieve what they say they're going to, because their mind won't let them get over the hurdle. They subconsciously feel inferior to other people. I can't do it. I'm not good enough. But maybe it's just one thing that you need to give you the confidence to actually believe that you can do it. One of the most popular questions on the channel is, does stunt my growth? And this is actually a yes and no to the question. All right, so first of all, I did it as a teenager quite a bit. Not crazy amount, just every single day, like it was a habit. Like every single day I get out of school, no parents at home, full blast. It was awesome. But once a day. Here's the thing. When it's excessive, you will be draining your body of all the nutrients, everything needed to actually produce testosterone, HGH. But as a teenager, you're going to have such a surge of hormones. I don't think it'll be detrimental if you do it once a day, a couple times a week. It will not be the end of the world. But if you're doing it multiple times a day, just yes, you will definitely be stunting your growth. But you know, while we're on the subject of high growth, did you know that high growth is only 60 to 80% genetic, 20 to 40% environmental? This is why with both my parents being roughly 5'8", 5'9", I grew to be 6'6". And I believe the number one reason was my nutrition. I had better nutrition than anybody I probably ever met. Now, did you know that 92% of Americans across all social classes are deficient in basic vitamins and minerals? Now, when this happens, actually, IGF-1 human growth hormone shuts down, closing your growth plate. So if you just have one nutrient deficiency, you don't know what it is, you will probably be stunting your growth without even knowing it. And then there's no possibility of you even growing in the future. So the ultimate solution is Titan Growth 2.0 on my website, kalosique.com, which has 500 to 1000% of all your daily required nutrients to optimize your high growth. Don't forget, guys, I just relaunched my coaching program. So if you want to look aesthetic, look like a Greek god, male model, I'm a certified personal trainer. I've worked with over 1,000 people transforming their lives. So if you want to be next, link in the description. Don't forget, biggest one of all, you have to join my school, man. You have to join Kalos VIP, my School of Looks Maxing, with my 3-hour Looks Maxing Masterclass, 2-hour High Growth Masterclass. Right now I have the Female Nature Masterclass. Every 2 weeks we hop on a VIP group call with everybody in the school. It is the best school of self-improvement out there. You gotta join now. Link in the description. Whenever you get urges to actually do it, we have 2 methods to actually control it. So number 1 is going to be exercise. So you really want to relapse, you really want to watch the videos, either go to the gym, hit some PRs, or you stay at home, knock out some single arm push-ups, as many push-ups as you can do. Then in addition to this, we want cold. So we got 2 options once again. We got either the ice bath, which I love ice baths. Ice baths are the best thing in the world. God's greatest creation out of everything, or a cold shower. A cold shower is great, but if you live somewhere warm, somewhere tropical, it probably will not get cold enough. These 2 options are the best things to do when you want to relapse. Now, the biggest thing is going to be focusing on how you will feel after you relapse. You know, like that feeling of shame right after you is the worst thing in the world. You're just laying in bed, you got everything all over you, you're feeling sticky, you're feeling gross. How does this make you feel? So even if you start doing it, even if you pull it up, I always want to think into that end result. How am I going to feel after I do this? How will I feel tomorrow? Will I feel good? Will I feel amazing? Will I feel like I will take on the world? And then all the repercussions, you know, the insecurity, the lack of confidence, everything you've been building up, all your goals, everything. Think of it as if you will literally be failing everything, failing yourself if you fail this, if you relapse. And I know that's a very intense analogy to go with, man, but I'm a very intense guy. I never relapsed on NoFap. I never relapsed on retention, except obviously with girls. Like, this is the must. You cannot allow yourself. You guys already know it, but discipline is going to be the only way to never relapse on retention. How to stay on No Nut November forever, indefinitely. Now, discipline, I've talked about this before, but it is a muscle. A lot of people, they think they can just naturally have discipline. Oh, I can just naturally do all these things that I want to someday, and it's just going to be super easy. This is not true. Discipline, you have to build it up. It's a neural pathway within the brain. So what this means is that the more you allow yourself to relapse, for example, like you get the urge, you give in immediately. You are building a negative neural pathway within the brain to where the next time you want to relapse, ooh, it's even easier. But you also build the opposite neural pathway every time you resist. So that urge comes into your brain. This is when it's most important. Like, it's overwhelming. You're so freaking, you just have to, but you resist. You go exercise. You get in the ice bath. Get in a cold shower. What this is doing is building the positive neural pathway, but not just for NoFap, not just for retention, for everything, for your life. This is why it's so powerful, because you are building discipline for the first time in your life. Now, this is going to extend to everything else. You don't want to exercise, you're building up that positive neural pathway from retention, from the NoFap, to where now it's going to be easier to go exercise. Same thing with starting your business. Same thing with talking to girls. It is the same thing over and over. Discipline runs your freaking life. And the release as men is the best feeling, probably out of everything in this entire universe. It's why we're literally on this planet. It's our genetic reasoning for existing, and you're withholding from that feeling. This is going to build more discipline than anything else. So if you are retaining, I would like you to comment below your streak. But yeah, man, that's it. Subscribe if you're new. I love you with all my heart.